the head of investments at Cotros Capital. Good morning to the program. Welcome.
Good morning, boss.
And he says he noticed that the slice of bread is getting slimmer by the day. I'm a little bit upset this morning. But I'm getting a lot of people who says they've noticed it.
Yes, signs of the times. Everybody needs to get creative.
Signs of the times?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sign of the times. One of the signs of the times is actually the GDP numbers. So, of course, we're having this conversation that you can't eat the GDP. So yesterday, according to Reuters report, the IMF new report that Article 4 report on Nigeria knock the authorities a little bit over the head whether yes, GDP economic is recovering, but Nigerians are getting poorer. That's the headline across the news wire as we have it. We're waiting for that formal report from the IMF. So let's talk about the GDP. They had the PMI numbers for February this morning, all hot off the press. Bola, good morning once again. Let's see where the Main Street economic numbers now meet the market straight. But let's have your views first from Cotros Capital as far as the latest GDP numbers came out on Tuesday.
Thanks a lot, boss. Really impressive numbers, but I would like to look at it in three broad themes. I don't know whether you remember this Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like
Western movie?
Yeah, Western movie.
Yeah, the Western. The Midwest. It's very, very interesting. Yeah. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
So in terms of the themes, so in terms of the good...
Is that how you guys view the GDP?
Was somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's rejoicing.
No, I saw another investment folks who says it was a bit of a Black Panther. It was a well. Yes, yeah, that's what's up. You guys at investment houses just get crazy sometimes in how you label these numbers. It says the good, the bad, and the ugly. So give us the good side of the GDP.
So that's realities. So for the good side, we noticed that non-oil sector came out of a recession. For Q3, they were still in recession. For 2017 as a whole, oil sector recorded positive GDP, which is the first in 6 consecutive years, which is positive. In terms of the growth as well, was a more balanced growth. For Q3, it wasn't balanced. Oil was one that had growth, while the non-oil was in recession. So things are seems to be looking brighter. In terms of the macroeconomic space as well, stable foreign exchange, investors' confidence, consumer confidence seems to be improving. So things are looking brighter. So in terms of services as well, which contribute over 54% to GDP, also came out of recession, largely due to transportation as well. So there are key things that are driving the economy, but I also want to look at the other side of the coin.
The bad.
So the bad. So the bad is, because real estate is still in recession, despite the fact that we talk about the huge housing deficits, estimated about 70 million units.
Who's going to build houses?
Yeah, so
with a lot of houses
actually wonder,
lockdown.
Yeah, driving down
in
Ikoyi, Jari, and I see empty houses, and I'm wondering, is
you folks who have offices around there still allowed?
Yeah, so I guess the houses are not built for purpose or built to fit. So yes, there's a deficit.
They were built for the owners.
Yeah, so they are built for people, but the deficit is at the lower base in terms of the pyramid scheme.
Okay.
So yes, they're not built for purpose. So in terms of the mortgage market as well, we don't have a mortgage market that can refinance those mortgages. In terms of lending rates as well, it's very, very expensive.
Maybe we need to check with those real estate guys always advertising in the newspapers. They hardly advertise on TV.
Yeah, so real estate.
But a few of them talk about whether they're building new estates and if folks are buying more of those estates.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of money. You need either cash or you get loans from the banking sector.
Or debt,
whatever it is. So you need to build houses. There's a lot of housing. You come and get into Abuja and you see estates that are under lock and key, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years. So the real estate market is not part of that construction.
No, it's not.
That we saw the growth in Q4.
Yeah.
Yes.
So construction, we saw the growth, but real estate is still in negative. And so that's a bad scenario. So in terms of the ugly, and which of course you already alluded to, one in terms of the per capita GDP. So really people talk about the size that, Nigeria is big. But it's good to also look at Nigeria's size in relation to the number of population, and that's where per capita GDP comes in. So GDP over population growth. Interestingly, Nigeria is at number 137. So a country like Libya is even ahead of Nigeria, and no wonder people are even running to Libya. So in terms of the actual growth, is not getting to the populace.
And that's a country, where you have about 3 or 4 different governments.
Yes, so there's growth.
Folks trying to, so you don't really say who, and they didn't even have a central bank governor for quite some time.
Absolutely.
And yet the per capita GDP is higher than Nigeria.
Absolutely.
A very interesting scenario. So, I'm not heading there. Don't think I'm going to with those numbers. I don't think those numbers are...
So another thing to also note is the fact that the growth is still a bit fragile. So the revenue base is not diversified. And I think the IMF also was talking to that. So our income is majorly petrodollar. And of course, if anything happens to oil, it's going to affect the economy. So the economy needs to be diversified. I know the government is doing a lot on that front, the RGP plan, and they're looking at critical sectors, but that is still on the long run. So the ugly is that the fact that our per capita GDP is still relatively low compared to our size. Let me tell you a story. I can remember when I was in secondary school, there was this short guy that used to run with underage people. I used to outrun them. They used to clap for him. Was
that you?
No, not me.
Not you. Okay.
So this guy was 7 years older than the people he was running with, outrunning them. But in terms of actual size, if he had run with his mates, they would have beaten him. So really, that's the story of Nigeria. So in terms of size, we seem to be bloated. But when you look at the numbers, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I'm sure this IMF report is going to generate some fireworks from the authorities in Abuja.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that they already knew. So I just expect that it's just going to make things to be done quicker, faster than expected.
If we take this fourth quarter, and folks are still raising some questions about how we arrive at nearly 2% GDP in fourth quarter, but overall we came in less than 1 quarter.
Yeah. Well, so it's an average. So we know that Q1 we're still in recession. And of course, Q2 we start to emerge from recession. So look at the average was 0.8. I think IMF was even on point. The estimate was 0.8% for 2017. Yeah. So the average was 0.8.
So let's take a little bit of this into in our strides. If you're in charge of investments at Quadros Capital, where do you see investment on this latest GDP reading with a bit of a look forward?
Okay, definitely equity market. So really, the equity market seems to give a perception of the broader economy. People say there's a barometer for the economy, and of course, we've seen the performance in January. When the GDP figures were released, the first day was negative, but of course, yesterday it was as if the market was on steroid. We saw a 2.24% growth, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday. And of course, you know, the market reacts on information. So what the equity market does for you is, okay, there's confidence in businesses, so we expect to see corporates release strong earnings.
You guys are getting me confused. Your GDP came up, and it was, okay, fine, everyone, 0.83%. Okay, fine. No. Yeah. And then we said, well, Nigerians are getting poorer. But the next day, the stock market just got fired. Yeah, so businesses are doing better. So Nigerians, so what I'm trying to say is that the growth might not be broad-based, and that's where the inequality comes in. So maybe some guys are getting richer, but some guys are getting poorer, which is the story. But businesses are doing better. So in terms of the numbers, volumes are set to ramp up. Production has begun to ramp up. So a lot of companies that had foreign exchange components. So because of the stability in the foreign exchange, that has also minimized the kind of losses we've seen. For the oil and gas, production was good for last year, average of 1.9 million barrels per barrel.